Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at modelling one of the helmets from the Mandalorian. So I'm going to go to Insert and Canvas, and then I've found a front and side view, so I'm going to take the front view, put it on this front plane, and then make it bigger. Let's make it like 15 and then bring it up. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Insert, Canvas, side one. Bring it into position. Okay, so we've got our two views that we need. So the first thing we need to do is figure out getting the actual shape of the helmet. So what we're going to do is go to create forms, and I'm going to create a sphere. I'm then going to click on this bottom plane and just click and drag it out. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then set the body, right click, move copy, and just bring it up into position like that. Next, we'll grab a cylinder, do the same thing, do this bottom plane. I want to make sure that it's the same diameter as, oh, I've done that in the wrong plane. Let's do that again. I want to be the same diameter as the circle. And just drag that down a bit. Like that. So I'm going to turn the canvas off for now. We want to join these two together. So to begin with, I'm going to just click and shift double click and delete those faces. And then if I just double click here, I can delete those. I'm going to move copy this a bit closer, and we want to join those together. So what we're going to do is under modify, I'm going to go to weld vertices and grab all these points to weld them together. Work your way around. Like that. So now we've got that as one solid piece. We want to start shaping it into the actual shape of the helmet. I'm going to go to right view, turn on our canvas. I'm going to probably, let's delete this bottom row. So to edit the actual shape of the form, if you right click, go to edit form. I'm going to jump between using vertices and edges, and just going to drag over the way with the vertices you want to change, or drag rather, or move, just sort of work our way. Kind of match the silhouette of the shape as best as we can do. And it's just a little bit of trial and error, just sort of trying a little bit, roughly just matching up as best as we can do. And let's go to the front view. Let's turn on symmetry. And same thing again, let's go to edit form. Excuse me. Drag down a bit more. And then let's take a look. Turn off canvas for a second. Okay, so we've got a good overall shape of our helmet. So finish form, so go to surface, create and thicken. Select that, just so you can see what's going to happen. Come to the bottom, just drag it out to make it a little bit thicker. Like that. So we've got a shape of a helmet. So now it's a case of trying to get those details in. So let's turn our canvas on and let's create an offset plane and drag it out. And we're going to go start sketch. And this is why when we did it originally, we made sure we did it directly in the middle of the axes. So we got perfect mirror line, so we can make sure we can use symmetry as much as possible. Because it is essentially, we're going to try and model like half of it and just mirror everything across. Because there are some relatively complex shapes to try and do. All I'm doing is jumping between lines, arcs and circles here just to sort of match the shapes that we need. And fill it just to round off this edge there, and then let's trim that bit. And then we'll mirror that across. So we go to create and mirror. Excuse me. Mirror. Let's double click those, and we want this to be our mirror line. And then the only thing we've got to make sure we do is it needs to be a close profile so we can extrude it. Hit E for extrude. And let's drag through. And then we've got our space for our visor. Next, let's do these little divots here as well. So we're going to use that same plane. I'm going to come up a little bit further up, like there maybe. Then go to arc again. And then, like before, it needs to be close to profile. E to extrude. And drag through. Turn our canvas off, and then we just want to chamfer those edges, so modify and chamfer. And we give this a quick save. And then we're going to chamfer this side as well, as far as the letters. Okay, so then obviously we need to fill that gap in. And the best way of doing that is we've already got this body here. So what we can do is thicken that again. So let's go to create and thicken. Bring that in a little bit. And then what we can do, go back to solids, go to combine, target body will be that body we just created. Full body, we can use the helmet. We want to cut it, so it's going to leave those bits, but we want to keep the helmet because otherwise it will get rid of it. So keep tool. So now if I turn off the helmet, we've got a little dimply cheeky bit on the actual visor as well. So let's just combine that this time and not keep the body. So then we've got the actual divot for our side of the helmet. We will mirror everything across. So we're just going to model certain things, we'll model on both sides, some will model on one and just mirror it across. So let's turn back on our canvas, create a sketch, and then we're going to draw a line, Go across there. Let's split body. We'll do the same on the other side as well. When you're doing these lines as well, they don't need to be all the way. It could literally be like a millimeter long line. It doesn't actually matter. I just, out of habit more than anything, tend to do it. Okay, so we have now got this bit left, which is the bit we want. Let's go to create and pipe. Pipe. There we go. We'll do square. Here there's a thickness, that's probably just about right. Let's change that to new body. But we don't want it to be sticking out quite so much, so we can go press pull and drag that in a bit more. We will, as I said before, we'll join everything together eventually, but to begin with, we're going to keep everything separate. It makes our life much, much easier. Okay. So it's starting to take shape a little bit, which is what we want. Let's create another sketch. Right down the middle. Then let's go to split body. In fact, before I do that, what we want to do, let's combine those back together again. Then let's split that body. There you go, that way the line's going all the way across. And then again, we'll do a pipe, so create and pipe. Turn that canvas back on. So that's how thick we want it, but again, we do not want it to be that tall because that looks terrible. So if we go to, let's pull and bring it quite a bit down. Something like that. Looks more like it. And then let's turn this canvas off so you can see. We'll do the same thing. Let's press pull this as well and drag it up. So we can't see it. So we don't want it like protruding out from that side of the helmet. Let's fill it sides. Then like that. And then I have got another reference image up here that I've been using a lot. So we kind of want to get these little details in there as well. And I know that I've saved it so autosave should be kicking in, but I do like to do my own little safety save every once in a while. I get paranoid sometimes that things are not gonna saved. This is my third time of doing this video because of not savings or audio issues. Let's go up. The only reason I'm using a center rectangle now is just to make sure things stay exactly in place. Again, split body. Grab those two tools. And then create pipe. I'll do the same on this one. And then we can combine those together again. Okay. Let's now do right, let's mirror. Let's get rid of that bit. Okay, this body needs to be split as well, doesn't it? Okay, let's we should still have a sketch exactly in the middle. There we go. So let's split body. There we go. Now let's create mirror. There we go. I'm just going to remove the bits that we no longer need. Okay, so hopefully it looks like it's starting to take shape. Next, let's do everything along here is fine. Let's just jump into render and have a little look. We are going to render this in another software as well, but it's quite good just to give you an idea of what it's looking like. Let's do like a rough steel. Okay, let's got distracted then. I've got another line going across there. But let's start doing like the bits on the side of the helmet. So let's bring the helmet together. Okay, so the helmet is all one piece now. Let's do this ear piece. So let's turn those off. Start sketch. And hit P for project. The reason for doing that, when I now turn that off, is I've got this line here, so now it's always going to match up to the edge, which is what we want. I'm just going to sketch out the profile that we want. Create mirror. Again, always just using mirrors just to make sure that everything exactly where we want it to be. And again, mirror. Let's just fill it there so we've got more less harsh curve. Finish sketch. We'll bring this up a little bit there. Extrude that, but for now let's change that to new body. Demodify and chamfer. Bring that in. Like that. Then let's go to fillet. Right, let's corners off a little bit. This bit, ETH extrude, and again make it the same height. Let's then sketch these details in. Do offset and offset again so we know it's perfect. And do a line straight across. Bring that down. Let's fillet all of these edges. And let's fillet these edges slightly as well. And then we want to have that nice little cut in there. So let's do circle. Line. If I hold on shift, it'll do a tangent line. Put it down for me. Create and finish sketch first. Create and pipe. Cut that bit out. Okay, so we've got like our ear bit, so let's combine all that together. So let's combine you and you. Let me combine you two. It will. Okay, let's bring our helmet back. Right click, move copy. Let's just bring it out here a bit. Okay, I want that to be a bit higher, so let's just go in time for a second. Let's grab view, move copy, and just drag it out. Don't want that chamfer, let's delete that. Okay. Let's combine those two. Take that, right click, move copy, and bring up like there. Then we hit E to extrude, bring to there. Now let's join those. Okay, let's delete those steps. Now let's bring those close to the helmet. Well, let's combine. Okay, they're not touching close enough yet. Let's do press pull. On that surface, just bring it up a little bit. Right. View and copy. Bring it into position. Okay, let's move the helmet. Move that bit. So what we want to do is let's the body. You thing tool. That bit. That bit we don't want. And we don't want. So now if we bring, right, let's start removing some of these. Right click and remove. Okay, so that bit we don't need. Move this into position a bit better. Okay, let's combine those. Grab the surface, drag it into the helmet. We still don't have any gaps. There we are. So it might be worth, let's just do little letters, little fillet, just so it looks like it's all been welded on. Oh, not the wrong thing. put this little gap there. Tiniest amount. There we go. Okay, now let's do a fillet around. Again, just so it looks like it's got a small little well to it. Well, let me do this bit. Yes, okay. Okay, let's just see if it'll let me do. No, it doesn't like that then. That's okay. I'm not going to see that bit anyway. Okay, so we've got here bit. Let's see if we can delete some of these extra spaces we don't. There we go. Okay, so we're nearly there. I am going to mirror that across again because obviously we don't want to have it on both sides. So which split was it? There you go. So split body, drink tool, U. Let's remove that and go to create and mirror. Select that. Select our mirror plane there. Turn that sketch off. Let's look in. Looking quite nice. Obviously need to have that bit on as well. So actually, if we're thinking how many more details left to go, there's not many. Let's have a look. So we've got these details on here. Okay, so it's just this back bit really we want to have a go at doing now as well. Let's come to the back. Let's do an offset plane. Okay, and how far up is it? So it's okay, it's not that far, just about there. Okay, let's do a rectangle and do a center rectangle. It's only going to be about something like that. And then let's project. Okay, so now we've got this profile. Something like that. Then I'm going to do another rectangle. let's create, oh, finish sketch first. Create and pipe. Do square. Like that. And then we sort of want to draw, oh, wrong thing, sorry. These little details in. Okay. Yeah. Then rectangle. Then let's go to profile, create mirror. E to extrude. Drag down a little bit. Modify and chamfer. Let's grab all these edges here. How's that looking? Yeah, something like that. You do 0.5 too much? No, 0.5 looks okay. Okay. Let's pattern those down. So let's go to create pattern, rectangular pattern, change it to features, drag down. Or did I forget to? There you go. Forgot to grab the chamfer feature. And let's fill it. Right, let's take that remove copy, drag it into place. Something like that. Let's split. So let's turn them off. Let's split body and split that with that tool there. That bit we don't want, so remove. Let's combine those together. And again, let's fill it and give like a small fillet so it's like it's been welded again. delete these extra faces that will appear. There you go, that's much better. I think we've got everything we want. That's a little once over. We've got the back piece, our side pieces are all looking good. Let's combine the top and part. I can't see anything missing. Let's see. Maybe we could do a little fillet there as well. Okay. So I think in terms of the modeling side of things, we are done. So we've got our main helmet and our visor. We've got our original thing there, which we'll remove as well. I'm going to give that a quick little save. Comparing it to reference image, I think we're pretty close. Let's jump into render. Give it that still rough look. Okay, so I am going to jump into another software to texture it. So if you're going to stop here, follow along with just the Fusion side of things, hopefully you found that quite helpful and quite fun to follow along. I am going to have a go at texturing this in Marmoset, which is quite a new software for me to play around with, but quite a lot of fun. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below or email me at designwithsimon@outlook.com. Okay, so now we're in Maya. We're just going to go to File and Import. Go to Desktop, where I should have my Mando helmet, and bring it in. And then, as always, it seems to be round the wrong way around. So I'm going to select it all. Just do E to rotate and J to bring it round. So we brought it into position. And then what we need to do is create some UVs. So what we'll do is just select all, go to UV and delete UVs. And then let's go to UV editor. I'll just turn off the check mark for a second. I'm going to create, and just for these ones, we're going to do automatic. And we'll do the same for the face shield as well. Let's go to create and automatic. Okay, and then let's just turn on, first of all, let's select everything. Turn on check marker, let's go to UV shell, select all of it, go to right click, modify, and layout. I'm just going to come through, check we've not got any distortion, check they're all similar sort of sizes, so it's all looking fine. So we're happy with. Last thing to do is just add a color ID. So let's select that, go to favorite, go to blend, and let's just call this main helmet and just give it a different color, like that. Then let's grab the face, the visor bit, same thing, blend, and then give that another color. Okay, so now we are ready to take that over into Marmoset to have a go at texturing. So what we're going to do is give that a quick save. Let's go to Save As. Then we're going to go to File, Export, FBX. Okay, so last little bit, we'll jump over to Marmoset and have a go at texturing. Okay, so now we are in Marmoset. So I've already just gone through settings and just baked all my mesh maps. So what I'm going to do now is just go to Windows and Library and start adding some materials. So it works in a very similar way to supplement painter. So it's just loads of material libraries. You can start to see what you like, what you don't like, bit trial and error. I found a few nice metals in here that I've wanted to use as well, so you just drag them across. I didn't want to drag that in there though, so let's just drag that out. So what I like to do is add in most of the base materials first and then start to add in things afterwards. So let's go to visor, let's go to like a plastic. Plastic glossy somewhere. Yeah, something like that. So then what we can do is take that and change the color. So let's drag this out here so we can mess this up a little bit more. So color, let's change that to black. And then let's jump back to our main helmet. So we'll start adding like scratches and dents and that sort of thing in there as well. So let's go back to, I'm going to give this a quick save so I don't lose anything. Okay, let's then go to Windows and Library. Let's look for Rust. But we want to do it under Materials. Let's get like this fine Rust. But then let's add black mask. Let's find scratches. Let's take small dents from over on the map. I want to make that a bit smaller, I feel, so let's something like that. This I did a little bit, but not a great deal. Yeah, something like that looks quite nice. Let's see what else. Let's add fill layer. Let's change that color to more of a grey sort of thing. Then let's do the same thing again. Let's do black mask. Let's add scratches. I'm just going to keep rinse and repeating, adding some layers. So I quite like using the whole Rust layer. It's quite a nice way of doing it. Let's have a look. Let's see. We've got the scratch layer. Let's see if we can do this and see what happens. So you still get a little bit of that grunge. That's bring that up. Let's do black mask. Let's see. Do we want like dirt? Bring that down as well. Okay, quite happy with that one. I think don't want to overdo it. Maybe a little bit too much. This one, I imagine it is. Let's do on this one. Down just a bit. Yeah, something like that. And we'll do another one with dents as well, so let's do another fill layer. Bring it up to the top. Change that color. Okay. Dark red. Black mask. Let's see, we got dents. Let's see what else we've got under scratches. Yeah, we don't want like massive marks, we just want just little bits. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so in terms of the helmet, I think we're done. So it's just the visor left. So for that, I think it is just, let's do same sort of thing. Black mask. Do some dirt. fill layer. Let's change that colour to that blood red sort of thing. Black mask. Some scratches. Down. Something like that. So what we can then do, let's give that a quick little save so it appears anything. We jump to render, turn ray tracing on, but that shows what it actually looks like. Let's go to sky. Let's go to library. To like 3-point lighting. Yeah, something like that. Always like when I'm messing with the levels to put it to the absolute extremes first just to see where we're at. And I think I've got too much of that red on that violet, so I'm going to go back and change that in a second. So let's leave that as that is. Yeah, about that. Okay, let's just jump back to a visor. Okay, so then in render, so what we can do, okay, I'm going to leave it on my desktop, which is what I want. Do transparency so that I can have the background off. Let's go to render image. Let's open it and have a look. Okay, so that is our final render, which I'm quite pleased with. The only thing that's worth doing as well, excuse me, is let's do the same, but what we'll do is we're going to jump to Austin texture anyway. So let's go to Windows, Library, and we'll grab like plain clay and do render like this as well. So we'll turn all these off. Same with the visor. And do the same thing, let's render that as well. So let's go to render. render image. Denoiser. Let's do GPU. See how that's looking. Turn that back to CPU. And then back on, let's turn all these back on. And then I'm just thinking, do we want to show any of the sides? I think we'll probably, let's do that side as well. So let's, same thing, image, render image. Then let's just turn, excuse me, turn on just our clay model as well, just see. The reason why I do the clay model so everyone can see what it actually looks like without any texture on it, so you can see all the lines and everything to it. Okay, so we are done. Let's just go back and turn all ray tracing off. Okay, so that is the end of our Mando helmet tutorial. Hopefully you found it helpful and interesting. I'm relatively new to using it on the channel. I've only been using it for like a month or so, but I'm really enjoying the remote control and everything you've got to it all. So hopefully you're finding it quite helpful and interesting. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment down below or email me at design with Simon at outlook.com.